I'm Jen with Vancouver Island Car Seat Techs. I'm going to show you how to harness an infant in an infant seat, sometimes called an infant carrier or a bucket seat, anything with this handle that removes from the base in the car. So first to consider is your harness set on the smallest setting? Not all seats offer this, but many do. And what that means, and instructions will be in your manual of course, is on this particular seat I can route the harness through this loop right here for a small baby. When my baby gets larger, I can use the bigger setting, which will give me a couple of extra inches of harness length. And the hip has that setting as well, the hip strap. Right now it's set on the smaller setting. If I needed more harness length later on, I can take this plate out here and put it through here, and then that just snaps back in to that spot there. So do consult your manual to know exactly how to route straps. An error we see often is this. So it's over top of things on the back of the carrier itself. This particular one directs it to be underneath. And do make sure also that it's fully looped on there. You don't want a piece hanging off. Okay, so for an infant, you want to make any rear-facing child, including infants, you want to make sure the straps are at or below their shoulder level. So what that means is if you put your baby in here for the first time and their shoulders only come up to here, they are too small for this seat. This particular seat does tend to fit small babies fairly well. Any seat rated from 4 pounds and up fits newborns very well. So putting your baby in, you want to not worry too much exactly how they're sitting right away, because babies, newborns especially, tend to slouch and squirm. Doesn't matter which you do up first, the chest clip or the crotch buckle. At this point, I want to make sure that the baby's bum is all the way to the back. You don't want a gap behind their bum. On some seats, there is quite a space between the baby's crotch and the crotch buckle, and that space can allow them to slouch. What you can do is a tightly rolled receiving blanket or a cloth even, and make a horseshoe shape to fill that space. That's the only extra thing you would ever add between the baby and the harness. You want to make sure that the harness is not twisted, that it's flat across the hips, there are no twists or folds in the harness, and then tighten your harness. Now this is a doll, so I could keep squishing her forever, but on a real baby there would come a time when it would be tight enough. How tight is tight enough? You don't want to be able to pinch a fold of harness at the collarbone. Some seats have a cover on the harness right here, so just reach in between the harness cover and the chest clip somewhere in this area. If you can do that, it's too loose. Now this is a doll, I can't tighten it any farther on her, she'll always squish, but on a baby, if you can do that, it's too loose, tighten it up a bit. And if you're worried about delicate neck skin here, just make sure their shirt is pulled up a little bit, so when you tighten that harness, it's not cutting into their skin. So after you've ensured that your harness is tight, that you cannot pinch any extra harness here, you want to properly position this chest clip. It needs to be at armpit level. And if you put your thumbs on the chest clip, your fingers should go right into the armpits. You don't have much choice on a small baby, that's just the only room you have for it. As the child grows larger, you need to make a conscious decision to slide that to armpit level. Now, some seats come with a head positioner. If it came with the seat, it's fine to use, but you may prefer not to use it. They often don't work terribly well. You can use another rolled receiving blanket, make a candy cane shape, and just tuck it in like that. And another one for the other side, like that. And that gives very nice head support. Side to side is not a safety issue, but it makes parents feel better and makes the baby feel a little bit more secure in the seat. So if it didn't come with the seat, don't use it. Anything over top of the harness is fine. A blanket, hat, cover that goes over the top like this, a shower cap style with the elastic is fine. You don't want anything extra underneath, nothing to interfere with the harness. And do always check for in-vehicle handle position. We've said it before, but it bears mentioning, there is no one rule. Many seats allow or require it now to be up in the vehicle, but you must consult the manual for your specific seat to know what is approved for your seat.